slow down. I wrote some of these, and they're the ones you're laughing at. Look.
Okay, as you can see in the title, this is gonna be a touchy topic, but let me get things very clear before I start. I actually love Jokoy.
You know how many Mexicans my mom walks up to and goes, Filipino?
Even up until now, I like him as an artist, as a creative, as a comedian, as a comedian.
Why do you want to be a comedian, Jose?
I actually watched him here when he did his last tour. And even all of his Netflix specials, pinapanood ko lahat yun. Yun yung reason feel ko that I was all the more saddened and disappointed and affected by the news that just surfaced regarding the Golden Globes.
Opening with Ozempic and other topics that received a mixed response from both the audience and the people in the room.
I'm gonna discuss 3 reasons why I feel Jokoy crossed a line during his Golden Globes stint as a host. So una-una, it was at the expense of other people. Now, the biggest issue here, yung kumakalat talaga, I feel, was regarding his joke to Taylor Swift.
We have fewer camera shots of Taylor Swift. I swear. There's just more to go to.
As a whole, Jokoy made a lot of jokes about people in general. In a way, this is a style of comedians. Russell Peters does this a lot, where he looks at the crowd.
Has anybody here ever done Ancestry.com or 23andMe or anything like that? You did it? You're fucking Indian. What are you doing?
Points at someone, converses with them, and actually makes a joke on the spot. Jokoy doesn't necessarily do that. That's not his style.
That hosting position is it's a different style, you know. It's not the same style. So did the whole the writers thing.
Bihira niya ginagawa yun. Yung titingin siya sa crowd and then mag-joke siya about a certain person, about what they wear or about their look and about, you know, interview, parang ad-lib kind of thing. And maybe that's something that maybe he's not used to. Maybe he's not familiar in that territory. But that's something I want to comment on. When you make jokes at other people's expense, you kind of have to really think through them. And I'll explain more, again, what I feel was the problem here. Now, the second reason I think is a bit more critical, in my opinion. One of the reasons why I feel he really crossed the line was he touched on social groups and issues or things that are, to be honest, sensitive. There were just so many things Jokoy did in this particular opening sequence. He even touched on Barbie and mentioned things like,
And Barbie is on a plastic doll with big boobies.
things that I felt like wasn't really all that great, or something that I couldn't stomach as well. I felt like there were things culturally, socially that were just a tad bit insensitive. I think more than that, it's jokes targeting groups of people, history, targeting feminism and women and those kinds of things that I felt Jokoy crossed the line with. Now, the last reason I felt, again, Jokoy crossed the line was because, again, like I mentioned earlier in my intro, he was given just a few days or a week or so. So he was admittedly out of his element.
We just had 10 days to try and write something for this monologue.
As Filipinos, we're critical, or as people in general, we're critical. And lalo na tayo, mga Pinoy, dapat di tayo maging critical kay Jokoy dahil parang crab mentality daw, or parang we're gonna pull him down, kababayan naman natin. And I'm not in any way, shape, or form putting down Jokoy. I want to stress it so much that I like Jokoy up until now, but I just felt like there were things that need to be addressed when it comes to comedy. Now, again, he was out of his element, in my opinion. I'm defending the guy in that sense that I felt like he wasn't fully prepared. I'm also not making that an excuse, in a way. Gets mo, parang, we have to cut him some slack. Now, you need to be prepared as a comedian. But at the same time, my big message here is you have to be, you know, smart in comedy. You have to be smart with your humor. Smart humor. Smart humor isn't intellectual humor. It isn't having, you know, witty or smart jokes. Smart comedy is about thinking about what you're going to say, putting yourself in the shoes of the people that are listening. Because to be honest, I feel like when it comes to the world of comedy, stand-up comedy, syempre, no, lalo na, there's that pressure. May pressure na kailangan nakakatawa ka. Kasi that's your job. Again, you have to be wise with your jokes. You have to be smart and think about and be sensitive to the other people around you. And that is my big message here. Let's be more sensitive to people around us. It's not really, filtering what you want to say para lang hindi ma-offend yung ibang tao, but understand and try to put yourself again in those shoes of those who are listening. And ask yourself, if I'm gonna make this joke, why? Am I gonna touch on sensitive topics? If you're going to make that joke about for example, about yourself, ma-offend ka ba? Will you take it? And again, to be honest, comedy is subjective. Some people might laugh to it, others might find it insulting. Be careful, be sensitive, be thoughtful, put yourself in the shoes of others. And that same way, I feel, applies also to Jokoy. Jokoy, to be honest, made a mistake at one way or another. I feel, okay, to be honest, may mali naman. But, again, let's be sensitive. Let's not put him down. Lalo na tayo, mga Pilipino, support pa rin natin siya. Huwag tayong makisali sa galit ng mga Amerikano, sa mga galit nila Taylor Swift, nila Robert De Niro. Kung magalit ba sila, tayo, we know there are errors that humans make. And let's, it's okay to acknowledge those errors, but let's not put down people. Okay, let's be sensitive also in that manner.
Joe's fine. If I'm Joe, I don't let it get to me. Let it slide off of your back. You're fine. You'll be fine.
So yeah, that's basically it for this video. I just really wanted to comment and give my 2 cents about the Jokoy incident. As always, don't forget to make every day into adventure. God bless, guys, and catch me on my next video. Bye-bye.